Hi, I'm Ken, the lead designer for Melrose International. I'm here today and I want to share with you a few ideas about doing tree toppers. I know when I think about tree toppers, when I was a kid, we always had an angel on top of our tree. I know some of you probably had stars or lots of different things, but I know when my children were younger, my wife fell in love with this snowman and it was almost like he was flying through the air, and I fixed him on top of the tree. So we've had different tree toppers through my lifetime, and I'm here to share with you some quick ideas of maybe using some material or some things that you typically don't see on top of a tree. So we're going to start with an ornamental or a tree topper featuring ornaments. We're going to start with a finial ornament. We have these beautiful green ornaments that have a little bit of gold snowflake pattern and glitter on it. And it needs to be an ornament that has the metal cap with the ring on it. I know you're familiar with them. You need to remove all the caps. I've taken them off all my other ornaments. Now I'm going to take a stem. Now these stems came from some of my silk flowers that I've had in the past. I save these when I cut the heads off, when I just want a short stem. These stems are so valuable. They have a wire stem in there so you can bend them and shape them. And these are paper coated, and it really helps when I put them into my ornament because I know the paper is going to help protect the stem at the end when it's hitting the glass. We're going to insert these stems into all of my ornaments. It's important when you're doing any project to always be prepared. And we're preparing all of the items here and all of our elements that we're adding into this tree topper so that once I get started, I don't have to stop and put it down. Because once you get started, you really can't. It's hard. Because we're going to build this in our hand and almost make like a hand-tied bouquet. All of our stems are ready. And I'm going to add some floral material with it too. Since it had a little gold glitter, we're going to add some floral stems and eucalyptus, poinsettia blossoms, and some holly stems that will help bring out some of that gold in there. I also have a bow ready so that I'm all prepared when I get to the end so I can just tie it on. I've made the bow. I'm even going to bend my two wires that I'm going to anchor it with to the side to make it easier to tie it on. Now to start this hand-tied bouquet, we need a center core. You need a pole so when we attach this to the tree later, we have something to anchor it with. We're going to start with this dowel rod. It's a 1/2-inch dowel rod, and I think it will support what I'm doing. We're going to take, let's start with some of our eucalyptus stems. We have 3 stems here, and I'm going to add the stems approximately 4 or 5 inches down where the branching starts, if you can see that, from my dowel rod. Let's just add the 3 stems on there. And actually we have a pretty nice little bouquet that way. Now we're going to start adding our ornaments. First add 1 ornament down into the bouquet. Try to make it the center of the eucalyptus. And then we're going to add the other 5 ornaments. This second through the 5th ornament, we're going to drop down a little bit lower. Notice the top one, or the first one I put in, is about 3 inches higher. We're going to add the next 5 at a lower dimension on this tree topper. And just slowly turn, keeping everything as tight as you can in your hand. And I know it's going to get tiresome, and if you're not used to holding things like this in your hands will start hurting after a while. And now we're going to do what I call a little cheat method here. We're going to use some cable ties, and whenever you're building a hand tied like this, sometimes it gets hard and your hand gets tired. So at this point, we're going to take a cable tie, attach it on there, pull it as tight as you can. Take your wire cutters and remove the excess. That gives you some freedom now, and you can rest this hand because I know it's been tired just holding it. So let's give our hand a little bit of a rest before we continue. Now to finish our bouquet, we're going to add our other floral stems. We've got the poinsettia blossoms and our holly. We're going to start by adding one of our holly stems. Just give it a slight 90-degree bend, almost 90 degrees. Let's add a poinsettia blossom. maybe another holly stem. And you notice I just keep rotating it and putting everything in at the same spot each time. Let's put another poinsettia blossom and finish it up with one more of the holly stems. At this point, we have all of our stems in there. Now we can tie our bouquet off. And that one little cable tie in the middle, I'm telling you, it's a nice little tip to know that you can give your hand a rest there. Okay. And when I use cable ties, I know sometimes when you just put one cable tie, they have a tendency to move, especially if you don't pull it tight enough. So for this bouquet or our tree topper, we're going to add a couple extra cable ties. Drop down about 2.5 inches from the first one. Pull it tight, remove the excess. And let's do another one just to be sure. Add that extra security in there. Everything's nice and tight now. Now we're going to add our bow. Go up under all of our other stems. You can add one bow. This tree that I'm decorating is probably going to be in the corner. As in my home, we put our tree in the corner, not in front of the window. So I'm only going to put one bow, and it's going to be on the front side where it faces in. So we've got our ribbon added on. Now we're going to take all of our stems and slightly bend and shape all of that holly, bend it down, give it a nice curve. Don't forget to give some loving care to the poinsettia blossoms. Just bend them down. Make sure you maintain the shape and the integrity of the flower so you can see what it is. Let's bend some more of the holly down. And finally, let's finish with our last poinsettia blossom on the other side. And there we go. We have our tree topper. What I like about doing a tree topper like this is that it's something unusual and different. And to finish it off, if you want to make it a little more professional, I'd take some coordinating ribbon or more of this ribbon and actually wrap the stem. And then you can just anchor it to the tree. Another thing that's nice about doing a tree topper like this, at the end of the season when you're undecorating your tree, you can pull this apart and take the ornaments off to slide them off your stems, pack them away safely for the next season, and when you bring your tree topper back out, anchor it to the tree and add your ornaments back in. This is a quick, easy tree topper. Other ideas of tree toppers include a lot of characters. We carry a lot of different snowmen, Santa Clauses, angels, lots of different things. And I know a lot of the tree topper, especially the angel ones, they have that cone dress and it's hollow, so it's easy just to take the angel and put her on top of the tree as a topper. But sometimes we get like resin figurines like this Santa here, and maybe you decided you wanted to use this on top of the tree, but how do you anchor it? Well, I have a solution for you. It starts with a drill. This is a resin piece, and you start with a drill and a very small drill bit, and slowly apply a little pressure and begin drilling a hole. Once you get all the way through, graduate to a larger bit and keep doing that until you get the desired hole that you want to support this. And I'm using a 1/2-inch dowel rod to support my little snow or my little Santa here. So I needed at least a 1/2-inch hole or a little larger to hold the piece. And the idea then is to insert the pole into the bottom of your Santa. Now I can attach it to the top of the tree. Maybe you just want to attach the Santa like this and have it sort of simple up there. But that's not the Ken way or the Melrose way. We embellish everything. So now we're going to take our little Santa and we're going to add a few berries to him. We're going to make this one so quick and easy and simple for you just because I just want to share the concept and then you can take it further. And this Santa is so cute, and as you can see on the table, it comes in a smaller size also. This is a set. And maybe you have a smaller tree and you can make different size tree toppers. We're just going to add a little bit of pine to this and then finish it off with one of our cable ties. At this point, if you'd like to add some ribbon to it or ribbon wrap the stem, whatever you'd like. Then just a little care, a little bit of shaping of the pine. And as simple as that, you have another tree topper. Here's another couple of quick ideas for tree toppers. I've already started with my bouquet, and I've added some beautiful cedar in here. It's got a little bit of snow and ice on there, and I really love these flock pine cone stems. They are wired so you can move them around. And then I've added one stem of the birch that has this beautiful snow flocking on there. And it's just off to one side just to make it a little asymmetrical. And I've already pre-drilled the hole inside of my little woodland Santa here. And we're going to drop him and nest him right into his little perch, and he will be a perfect accent to our Christmas tree this season. Another idea here is I want to take this off to protect him, is once you master doing these types of bouquets in your hand, you can get more extravagant and larger, especially for like maybe a 12-foot tree or something. But I wanted to put this angel on top of this tree, and it was quite heavy. So I really wanted to accent her and really make her the focal point. So notice what I did with all of my stems in here. They almost create framing circular lines. So when I drop my angel in there, she is like in this grove for get her perched on there. There we go. And she just nests so beautifully in here. But the curvature of the stems, the snowy branches with the ice on it, the drippy ones, and then these beautiful mint green ferns just really set this piece off. An angel, the traditional tree topper. Now that we've completed our tree toppers, let's attach it to our tree. The application is very, very simple. Start by going to the top of the tree and carefully insert the dowel rod all the way down along the core of the tree. You might have to adjust it a little bit because sometimes it gets caught in some of the branches. Continue going until the tree topper sets on the top of the tree. Now we're going to anchor it with a couple of cable ties. We're going to take one cable tie close to the top. Make sure you get around the center core of the tree. Pull it nice and snug so it's tight and secure. Now we're going to repeat that with at least one more cable tie. You might need to add a third along the way too, just for extra security. Again, secure, pull it tight. Now with your wire cutters or clippers, let's trim off the excess cable tie. Now it's time to add our Santa. I didn't want to attach the tree topper with the Santa on it just in case I dropped him. I wait to the end and carefully nest him on top of the pole. There you go. Tree topper, simple and easy to do.